Going love. Hey guys. Hey, look who I have here today. I see all my friends in the studio. I see Rachel Agasha. I see Waswa Emma. Oh gosh, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I see some other people joined on Facebook, on my Facebook page. There's probably some that are joining in from Josephine's page. So you guys are so welcome and just sit here to be inspired. I've been I don't want to say that I've been following Josephine. That sounds like a stalker. But I follow her. I've been following her progress. I know her events going on. So I figured I would invite her into our studio so that she could inspire so many people. Because I know so many people write to me saying, Brenda, bring more inspiring stories. We love those. So here is another one. If you've been following me on my YouTube channel, at least every weekend I bring you a story to inspire so many other women or so many other people out there. So today I have Josephine Kalagira in the studio. Josephine, can you introduce yourself and say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so very much, Brenda, for having me. It's such a privilege to be on with your audience as well. It's the first time actually being hosted by a female Ugandan person, but honestly, yeah,
Yay!
yeah.
Right.
So I'm Josephine Kalagira, and I am a proud mother to a wonderful son who is 9 years old, and I am Roman Catholic, and
Mhm.
faith is very important to me. And I am a best-selling author. I come from Uganda originally, and I came here like was it 2004? End of 2004. And then here I am. So about me, I am an author, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, and I want to show the world and everyone that who is watching that we go through certain things in life. We experience certain things and we suppress those things, and sometimes we don't know what is going to happen to us.
Mhm.
And I have been through that, which is my setback, and now a comeback queen. So I am deeply passionate about inspiring, empowering, and supporting individuals around the globe to accept and embrace who you truly are, become confident and become resilient so you can thrive and shine through those unique experiences that you don't want to talk about, but you
Yeah.
need to talk about.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So, and I have to tell you, you've been doing great, inspiring people, empowering people. Sometimes, you don't even understand, like sharing your own personal story, how much impact it could have on somebody else's life. So many times people are like, my life is just the worst until they hear from somebody else. And then they also learn how this person was able to move on from maybe that worst moment in their life to come up and shine again. So just hearing such a voice, such a story from people like you, Josephine, absolutely empowers and encourages other people out there. Now, let's dig into it. So, those who might not know, she's a daughter of the Queen. So you might hear her accent change here and there into like the British, and I always make fun of my friends. I'm like, hey guys, can you like simplify it for me? Like not go too deep into your into your UK accents. But I'm always joking, of course, Josephine. So let's see. So take us back a little bit into I know there was like I remember waking up and reading this story in the newspapers that you shared how you had been hurt. I remember seeing pictures of you sitting in a wheelchair, and I was like, oh my God. So, you being a single mom in the UK, you are so proud of your son who's 9 years old right now. Is he Jaden?
Yes,
Jaden, yes, yes. I got it right.
you got it.
Um, so when that how did that come to happen? Like if somebody who is not familiar with your story, can you give us a little bit of of what happened to you?
Yeah, it's a long story, but I'm going to chop it.
Yeah.
And It was like My background is in human resource management
Right.
and a complementary therapist at the same time. But at the time that I had an injury was after work on Friday, 9 to 5. You know what it is like as a parent, and you
Yeah.
work Monday to Friday. I was
Yeah.
really looking excited to to have a wonderful weekend, and it happened that I did not want to get up the following morning because I wanted to nip to the shop. And little did I know that that was the tragedy. The tragedy was going to happen there. So, finished work on a Friday, picked my son up, went to the supermarket to buy certain things. I was bent over um, in the aisle, picking
Yeah.
whatever
In the
I wanted
supermarket.
in
Yes.
the supermarket, and someone knocked me over with this big fully loaded cage of stuff. Like they knocked me over from behind. I went like that, and then I wobbled with my high-heeled shoes. So that is how my incident started. And
Wow.
and that basically that's how everything started. I rang people, I told them about what had happened. Like people started laughing.
In the
They were,
store.
no, that wasn't in the store. That
Okay.
was afterwards in the store. And I'm like, goodness me, this is painful. Like it hit me on the right leg and foot on the Achilles tendon and ankle. So it twisted right in and stuff like that. So that is how basically my health challenges started. And it wasn't until that, I was experiencing what I was going through and taking on board what the doctors were telling me and thinking, this is deeper than what I'm experiencing. It's this is no, I'm not feeling normal. But the problem was I sugar coated what had happened.
What had happened? Because you were like maybe worried people would laugh at you and things like that, right?
I tried to mask myself, like, and taking on board what everyone was saying. I felt like I could not walk. I felt like I could not stand. I had a cast on. I was walking on crutches and things like that. So I kept struggling through, taking on board. I went on antidepressants and I lost my mind, put on a lot of weight. I saw myself crawling on the floor. And at the point that things went worse was when I was walking and then slipped and fell because I was struggling at home as well.
Yeah. Now,
Sometimes
how long was that after the incident? How when you started feeling all those effects?
it was it was because when I had my accident,
Yeah.
I still had my job, but I was
Yes.
hanging in there. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep strong. I was still on sick leave, and I'm gonna keep strong. I'm gonna get back to work, and I'm putting my mind. And everyone was like, yeah, don't worry, Josephine. You're gonna be all right. You're an African person. This is one thing I don't like about African, like branding it like African women are strong.
Yeah.
The strength comes after so many things that you have been through. However, however, it was like, you know what? It's not the strength that you need.
Hmm.
It's what you have been through that will give you the strength that you need. However, after I think it was 8 months, I was struggling 8 months, but after 8 months, my job ended. And then
Wow.
that's when I started to feel because they could not keep me on being off sick, not showing any signs of improvement.
Right. Right. Right.
And basically signs started. I think roughly there were signs all the way, but I was hoping that I'm gonna be okay and get back to work. And since that, it did not change.
Wow. So, so what was going on in your mind at that point? So when this accident happened in the store, Josephine, did the store, like say, jump in and try to see if they could help you? How is it? I don't know how it is with the UK, how the life insurance is like, not life insurance, but medical insurance in general, you know. So is the store was the store responsible for your medical bills at that point? Take us through that point.
So the funny thing is,
Mhm.
ladies, if you're watching me, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have life insurance. Make sure, whether you want or don't want, have yourselves covered.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what happened to me was I had been paying life insurance for a very, very long time. And what was really painful was a week before I was reviewing my bills and everything. And I told myself, you know what, I've been paying all this long and nothing has happened and
Yeah.
everything. I just want to cancel it. I canceled my life insurance.
Isn't that fate? Like how things just happen. You
they
cancel
told
it, and that's when you get an accident. Like, what the heck?
they told me a number of times, are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure this is what you want? I said, yeah, 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 I don't need it. It was a Friday. It was I think, it was I think the weekend, and on the weekend, and it was a week after on a Friday that I had my injury and I had nothing covered.
Oh my gosh. What a
So,
mess.
so the supermarket was responsible, but that is another tragedy of a story because how everything was handled and how things happened. And I had my little boy there
Yeah.
at the age of 5 at the minute. Like when you've been hit and you want to make sure the kids are okay,
Yeah.
things have happened. So that is another side of the story, but they were responsible.
Okay, that's good. Mhm.
They were liable for what had happened, but the process, I kind of feel like even when you've been compensated, for example,
Mhm.
it does not take away like the ripple effect of what you still struggle with and still
Absolutely. Absolutely.
through
Yes.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So at least they took care of those financial bills, like the bills from the hospitals. And is it like they cover it until you're physically fit again? I mean, of course, they will never compensate to say now you're out of your job for another year. Like you lost your job after that. These guys were not responsible anymore for keeping you on a paycheck, were they?
So for my case, it was
Yeah.
like they made me an offer which I
Okay.
declined. They
Yeah.
made me an offer which I declined because it wasn't worth me for
Hmm.
what I was suffering and going through, and I
Hmm.
had to take things steps further because, like, for example, even up to this point, I'm still struggling. I still struggle to mobilize. I still, my son is a young carer, and it's just been really, really tough. So when you go through a challenge like that, you need to know those steps that you are taking.
Yeah.
And for example, they will pay for some bills, but sometimes you just want to say, this is what's happened. They'll try to rip you off and say, this is what you're worth. Maybe some people will say because you don't look that you deserve this. They don't
Yeah.
want to pay how much that you're worth, especially you've been working for this long, you've been earning for this long. These are the expenses. This is what you need to get. And they will need to look all into that and
Yeah.
your agreement with them as well.
I
Yeah.
see. I
And
see.
again, it all depends on the kind of solicitor that you have, or a lawyer. They call it solicitor lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on the people that you have backing your story up, or who have taken that claim to help you go through it.
Wow. Wow. So, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what was going on in your mind at that point, and your
So at
poor
that
little
point,
child.
it was like, what point are we talking about? Because there's so many points. I feel like
I know, like from when everything just happened there in the grocery store, and then you started going through. Now here you are starting the medical treatments, and also knowing that you're not as mobile as you're supposed to be every day, waking up, dropping your son to school, or dropping your son at the bus stop, and being able to jump in the car and or on a train, like all that stuff. As a single mother, what was running through your head? Did you have help?
so. First and foremost,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's horrible.
Hmm.
It's stressful. It's killing and damaging at the same time. I could not drive anymore.
Yeah.
My car was parked for a number of years, and I couldn't drive it. It went rust, even though it was still newer, not new, but a bit decent.
Yeah.
It got written off without even giving me any penny because it was parked there.
Just sitting there outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept thinking I'm gonna be alright, I'm gonna drive again. But and I used to drive a manual car back then. My license got taken away because things
What?
happen.
They
Yeah,
actually do that?
yeah, because of the health complications that I
Oh, because now
had.
they're thinking you could put the other people on the road at risk if you try to drive.
Exactly. But again, with the complication, because I struggle with complex pain regional syndrome, I also struggle with functional neurological syndrome and a lot of different complexions that have happened. And my body keeps like cracking up, or is not more. It's affected the nervous system, I think, and the ripple effect of that has damaged everything. So I can't physically, like, my right hand side is literally like, I'm like, that's why I'm like, oh my god, I'm learning to use my left hand. I went through all the traumatic experience. My son nearly got taken away from me because I could not physically manage to look after him. He became a young carer. I wanted to end my life, and in the process, because I felt like I had my son at quite a late age. I had my
Yeah,
son.
you were able to raise him from diapers and everything, and now here
Yeah.
you are.
And I'd planned, like, this is why I get offended. Like, sometimes we need, there is a vision board, there is goals, there is things that you want to achieve. What I have learned is that you plan all these things, but we never ever plan anything. If anything ever happened to you, what is it that you would do in that moment? Even when you're a
Absolutely.
single parent, like the people I get to work with, some people are married, but they feel single.
Right.
And they feel like alone in this, and they
Absolutely. I hear you. I know what you mean. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So in that moment, for me, I felt my world had ended. Being a single parent, had lost a lot of all of the friends, most of them, because people love people
Who
when
who
they are
who
when you.
who have something, who are somewhere, who isn't that sad? Isn't that sad?
And for me, I changed. I put on weight. I couldn't walk. I remember one time someone say like horrible things, like horrible things. I overheard, when you're sat in the room and you overhear someone talking
Yeah.
about you
Mhm.
on something that is very, very personal. So it gets a bit, you get in that shell and you're thinking, I've got no one.
Mhm.
So for me, that was the moment I felt I didn't want to live anymore, because I had taken on board all the professionals had
Yeah.
told me, and nothing had changed. But because I was frustrated to express exactly what I was going through. And when you suppress that, then you cannot, no one knows what you're going through. No one knows apart from yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
And for me to see all the things happen, I said, you know what? I just don't want to be here any longer. And of course, when people see that you can't physically help
Mhm.
yourself, how can you look after this child? The child is at risk. How can you fight back to get back up when things like that happen as a single parent? I mean, I had all loads of sorts, and when I share the things that you shouldn't do when you're going through all of that, I'll share them with you if we do have enough time.
Wow. 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 Wow, Josephine.
It's
that's
like,
like that's like so much on somebody's heart,
yeah,
like all of a sudden your life just comes to a standstill in my mind. I'm like, everything, like you have your own goals. You wake, like how you wake up and you're like, today I'm going to clean, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'll be, maybe doing this and this and this. You have like your own goals, especially if you live abroad. Like every day, every hour is like accounted to something. It's like designated to something. So when something like that abruptly happens, I can't even imagine. Like you're looking at yourself and you're like, I have rent to pay, I have mortgage to pay, or I
Mm,
have a child to take care of. And now that's when single motherhood becomes real in a box.
mm.
So I have Liz here. Liz is asking, at what point did she realize she couldn't walk on her own? Like, I think she's wondering, like, yeah, after how long the accident happened.
It was soon after that I was using crutches. I was put in a cast, like a cast, and then after that I was given crutches because I could not stand. I could feel like, it was awkward. It was like awkward. And then I pushed through to keep using the crutches. But one time I was forcing myself, then I had a big fall. So
Mm-hmm.
when I had a big fall, I twisted my hand, hit the wall, twisted my hand right all the way this way, fell over, could not stabilize, fell right down, hit my head, cracked my head over there. And that was like literally, I thought I was dead, but I wasn't. Went to hospital, came back. A few days after, I felt like, there is something terribly wrong. And I remember, I think it was right before lockdown,
So
when,
that's 2019 or 2020.
yeah, 2019 December, around that time. And then between then and March, there was loads of different health complications, and I couldn't manage to take my son to school. I struggled to use my crutches. But on one morning, I woke up and I could not feel myself.
Your whole side.
Yeah, my whole side. I could not get out of bed. And I said, but I was keeping all together because I had a son, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So I just couldn't come out of bed. I tried. I said, my son, get ready, because we get things ready for him to be ready in the morning. He used to be taken by a taxi because then I couldn't take him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was the moment that I could not physically use the crutches or stand and access anywhere.
Now, wow. Okay. So, Josephine, like growing up back home, or even here, like as immigrants or immigrants in the diaspora. So, you find that people have like communities.
Hmm.
So, did you have something like that where maybe there's like a Ugandan community in Ipswich that
Hmm.
does it usually come together for such things? Did you feel helped by let's say that community? It might not even be the Ugandan community. It might be just like a community, maybe from church, maybe
Hmm.
from work. Did you have something like that?
Yeah, there is a community around
Yeah.
here, but
Hmm.
of course, as a person of pride and things that, when something is happened to you, things change.
Yeah.
You start to withdraw yourself. You know, who do you open up to? Who do you confide in? Who is the person that you reach out and you look within you? You will not know, I can't speak to someone. Then you get to choose, who can you speak to, and why can I speak to them? Why can I speak to them?
And what can you speak to them?
And what can I speak to them? So for me, in that moment, I was like, who do I trust? Who do I believe in? What have
Who
I
is
had?
going to believe me? Who is going to
You know,
believe that I'm in this
it's
much
like
pain?
some people will have that kind of thing, like, what's happened to you is because of ABCD, and you really don't want certain things into
Yeah.
your head. But I remember when I reached out, someone came to me and they say that, actually, Josephine, I know someone who is going to help you and going to support you, and I'm going to bring them to pray for you. And I said, okay. But I said, what church are they from? They told me. But I said, I am a Catholic. I pray rosary, I do this. And they said, yeah, this is someone who is open and everything. And then they said, okay. I said, okay, I'll speak to them. Someone came to me And that was brought from someone from a Ugandan community.
Yeah.
And then the person that came to me, seriously, if you knew the things he told me I needed to do, I got scared.
I'm sorry to laugh, Nae.
Exactly. Yes. If you knew the things he told me that he wanted me to do, I was like, hey, no, me, I cannot afford this one. My mom never told me anything like this. I said, I'm really struggling here, but there is no way I'm going to keep up with this. There is no way I'll do what you're telling me. There's no way I'll do certain things. Do this, put this under your pillow, do this. And then there's certain things, occasions that needs to happen on me. And I'm like, no, I don't want that.
So in other words, they thought this was like witchcraft happening in your life. Oh God. Oh dear.
So they said a lot of things that were happening and the things that I needed to do and how I needed to do them and how often I needed to do certain things. And I said, no, I need to stand out nice and tall, and I need to face what it is that is happening into my life. And that is basically. And plus, so many people are married and they've got their own families. They work 9 to 5 and they get really busy and stuff. Basically, that is how I ended up.
Yeah. Oh, Josephine, why are you making me laugh? It's like, it's not even a funny incident. It's sad. But
This is this is the step back bit. I look back now. No, it wasn't funny then because I've
yeah,
done a lot of work. It wasn't funny then. It was very, very difficult.
don't go there. Don't go there because you'll start making me cry now. Don't.
Yeah. Plus, when you talk about Ugandan communities, for example, everyone is married and you're the single one. Yeah.
That's tough.
You really do not want to get, some people are very funny with everything. You just want to respect everyone else's marriage. Like, for example, you know what Susan Makula did or what's happened to Bujingo's family and stuff like that. So you just don't want to be someone who's seen like, you're the one that needs help or someone helping you or someone is taking, you're intervening in someone else's family unless if someone sees it and they
come forward.
they
Yeah.
come
To
forward
offer. Yeah.
because they know what you're going through. But a lot of things you need to know which space that you need to give.
Yeah. My gosh. So so I have a few questions here. Liz is asking, have you been able to go back home since?
Yes, I did. I did. When did I last go? I did, and they didn't want me to come back. It was a traumatic experience, that one. I wouldn't want to go back like
I
that.
remember when you were back in Uganda, and you traveled with your wheelchair and stuff like that. So I wonder what did people think?
Yeah, it's like the thing is you put parents in a lot of strain. Yeah, especially when they back home, like not the roads, everything is very accessible, so they will do all the, you have. I used to have actually a very good therapist that used to come to me, and he would help to do, like the moving of the things, the manipulating and doing things, and I used to get like, if I went to Kosu, I don't know if you know Kosu on Entebbe Road.
Yes. I had my nephew there, yes, because he was going through therapy for 2 years.
So I used to go there. They didn't want me to come back, but of course I needed to come back because when you're not working and have no government and you're relying on your parents, someone who used to
earn your own money.
You're thinking, I know you want to help me, but I don't want to be here. I'm sorry. So it's just that kind of thing. Plus, I had a young son who was at school and not used to everything like down there.
Yeah. It can be different. Yes, I can imagine. Let's see. This is Africa. Hi, how you doing, guys? Thank you guys for keeping the comments going. Liz, thank you so much. I understand your parents' concerns. Yes, Liz says. But thank you guys for coming in. For watching and listening into Josephine's story. So, Josephine, sorry to keep taking you back to that story. I like personally, I would never want to retell my story if it was
Yeah,
possible,
yeah,
because it takes you back. But I think the more you share with people, you get to encourage other people who might be in the same situation, or it also makes us be prepared. I mean, like us
mhm,
who are in the diaspora, if something like this ever happened to you, how are you able to come back from it?
yeah,
How are you able to bounce back?
mhm,
So from that situation, as you're sitting there or lying there on your bed, immobile, you thought about writing.
mhm.
How did that come up? What inspired you, and what happened after the thought and putting pen to paper? Where is Josephine right now?
So, coming to writing, this is my first book.
I love
It's
it.
called it's called My Revolutionary Breakthrough: How to Turn Your Setback into a Purposeful Comeback. That book was not meant to be a book. It was meant to be something to leave behind for anyone to find.
That's powerful. That's deep.
It's deep.
Mm.
It
Do
was
you ever read it? Do you after you have you read it?
not I cry on the second on the introduction.
Wow.
I
Mm.
cry on the introduction. I can't. I really. So basically, this book is from my humble beginning, the imperfection, the everything how it flew, everything it, how it was. I felt like everything how it was going into my mind in that moment. That's how it is. If you want something raw, something that you
Yeah,
don't,
something raw is right. Something raw,
if
like
you want something raw, something that is not polished, something that you will read and feel like you feel me. You feel like I'm there. That's what I hear. So that was the journey. And then one time, as I was trying to look up, finding a reason to get back up, um,
I think
um,
that book is on Amazon, isn't it?
yeah,
Josephine? Yes.
yeah, it's on Amazon. So
What's the title of the book? Somebody's asking.
the revolutionary breakthrough
Can you hold it straight to the camera real quick? Yes. Yeah. My
is
Revolutionary Breakthrough. Yes, by Josephine
Kalagira.
Kalagira. Yes. So
So
I'll
so
put the
when
link to the book, but it's on Amazon, and it's it was one of the best-selling books actually. I think when did it come out? Last year?
in August 2020.
2020. Yes, August
Yeah,
2020. I remember. Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was meant to be left behind, but after I was supported by a charity organization.
I wanted to ask you about that charity organization. How did you come to meet them?
One time,
Mhm.
I said I'm not gonna cry.
Oh, no crying. No, no, no.
So
That was not part of the interview now.
so I say one time I'd had enough, and I literally had been through all of the possible things that I could. Then I went to see a psychologist,
Mhm.
and I say to them what I was going through and what could make a difference. And I was bored. This time I wasn't crying. I took the emotions out, I took the feelings out, the anger, the frustration out, and I spoke to them because I said, I've been to the university, I've got these qualifications, I've got this, I'm not, I'd gone right to zero. I could not even construct a sentence. I couldn't understand, I couldn't remember it. Although you could think I've got it, but I didn't have it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
spoke to them and we had a one-to-one. And he said, leave it with me. And then after that, I said, would you be comfortable to speak with this? They help with this. I said, yes, please. And that was the journey of getting to, again, one of the coordinators wrote a foreword in my book, and she helped me a lot with the charity organization. It says Family First, and yeah, that's how I started. And then I saw a different approach from how things were. They didn't
Yeah.
help me with the physical side of things or health, but mindset wise, and looking to get better or improve on how I was, they really made a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, she's blessed. Um, my God, you guys. Josephine, thank you so much for sharing. Now, this community and this charity organization, I follow the conversations. I see amazing women. It sounds like you have a great support system. At least
Mm,
you've eventually found a great support system, and
yes,
I'm so grateful for them. And
yes,
I think you're so blessed, and they are also blessed to actually have you amidst them as a group.
mm,
I see all the books that you guys. There's another book that you co-authored. I
mm.
want to get that book. It looked fun. I saw the women talking about it. I saw the launch for it,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it just made me feel so proud. Like when I saw, I'm like, oh my gosh, Josephine is co-authoring with these white women. Sometimes your color pops out, and I'm
yeah,
sorry to say, but
yeah.
there's like that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I feel very represented. And thank you so much. Thank you, and I thank those women as well for reaching out and for giving you a home, because I feel like you've found a home, you've
Yes,
found friends. So,
yes.
and everybody needs something like that.
And what I want to add on to that is that your family does not have to be blood related. They really do
Yeah,
not have to be
yeah,
blood related, because you will find a family even when, yeah, I come out as raw as I do because I know so many people uh behind closed doors. I get no, my emails are full, my
yeah,
inbox are full. Like,
yeah.
this is why I do what I do, and I love it, because if I can help someone to see that, even you've been through hell, I
Mhm.
call myself the same back to come back queen. I've been to hell and come back. And I want to show other people that we all can. And you don't have to pretend to be someone you are not. Hello, Len. I've seen that.
And that's one of your families. Yes. Thank you so much, Len, for joining us. Yes, go ahead with your guitar, and we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for loving our Josephine. So we love you as well now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Oh, Joyce, how are you, my Canadian sister? Yes, yes, yes. Um, yes, Josephine is amazing. Just joined. Hi, Faiza. How are you doing? Liz, okay, I have to go. It was nice hearing from you, Josephine. Stay positive and happy, and you're an inspiration. Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you, thank you. And I saw you found the book. Yes, it's on Amazon. Guys, if you want to own a copy and cry as well, go for it. You might cry on the 10th page.
Yeah.
Josephine cries on the first page, but I think it will be a good one to read. It's on Amazon. If you search, I'll put the link in the description when we're done later today. So you guys can catch that book as well. And that's not the only book. So Josephine, you're on your way to your second book. Now, what are you writing about this time?
So this time,
Yeah.
I'm writing about creating a life of love.
Mm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's 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 from that book. I've written, like, this is called Love Thy Body. Like, when I hated my body and everything, that the things I've undergone and how I was treated because, of now the disability that I was having. How did I overcome that? Because some of us are like,
What
oh,
is
my,
that? Love their body. Yes.
Love Thy Body, Volume 1. I co-authored it with 23 other women. So that
Yeah.
one. And I think this is the one you saw called,
Yeah, scene. Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's how to step into your passion, purpose, and power. How I managed to do that. And also the new one that is coming on my birthday, which is 22nd of this
December
month.
22nd.
It's called Create a Life of Love.
Create a life of love. Hmm.
And that book is again revisiting ourselves, knowing that it's going to be your own journey, it's going to be your own way, and it will always be your awakening, because we go through different phases, and through reading my story, reading what I've been through, you'll be able to understand that actually I've been through this, I'm going through this is how I need to behave.
Yay, somebody just purchased the
Thank
copy.
you so
Thank
much. This is
you. Thank you, KBM. Ah,
I
you're
really do
amazing.
appreciate you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you'll be able to understand that it's not the end of the world, regardless of what you're going through. This is I empower people to accept and embrace who they are, and embrace to thrive and shine through those unique experiences. Many people are coming from all different walks of life, and you feel ashamed, embarrassed, written off, unheard, unsupported, all these things. But how do you compose yourself together and say, this is me, this is my life, this is my journey,
This is who I am.
this is how I'm going to redefine who I am compared to what people used to know me as, to see me as. And you redefine that and make sure that you're not attached to those kind of, well, I can't walk high heels, I can't walk in high heels, I'm struggling with physical health. So what? I'm using my mouth to reach you. We've got, if I kept quiet and didn't speak about this, you would never have found me.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we all learn every single day. So basically, that is the book is talking about through all those walks of life.
That's right. That's right. Wow. Um, hold on just a second. Wow, what a story. The God we serve. I'm telling you, Gani. Yes, the God we serve is amazing.
Yes.
Um, so fast forward, Josephine. I know we're coming to almost like the end here. I have to like drop my son to basketball. Just give me a second. All right. Let me ask you a quick question, and then I'll mute myself and then talk to this kid for a quick second. Um, so fast forward, how is your life so far? What, and actually, no, how is your son taking this whole thing? How has, this happened when he was 5,
Mhm.
you know, how did his life change? What do you see in Jaden since that happened?
Wow. Well, we went through a phase as kids, see the parents struggle with the physical and mental health challenges. Kids struggle with health and well-being and how to maintain that. And it affects, like for me, my son was affected at school. He was affected with the things he was doing. He wasn't happy, and because I wasn't there present, some days I could not wake up, some days I could faint, some days I wasn't there. Like there was a time when I was not well at all. And he was able to help me heal through that. But when I found my way to get back up, like one of the reasons that I was able to say, you know what, I need to get back up no matter what, was him. And I managed to get as a therapist myself, because I do like counseling as well.
Yeah.
I've done counseling course and everything. So I knew he was struggling with certain things and things he could not open up to. So I opened the doors and I said I needed to get him a therapist. I needed to speak to the school because and know how can he improve? How can I support him better? What groups can he join? And how can I get my life back on track? And of course, he was missing his mommy, not taking him to school, and missing that time when you have to take someone on foot. Like for example, you have to take the kids. If you did not take the kids, then the one that mom touch,
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
when I resolved that and I was able to do that for him, he is now in a very, very, very good place. And he's proud of
Amen.
his mom.
Amen. Amen.
I'm
I
proud.
can imagine the little him knowing that okay, I have to be holding mom's crutches, or are they called crutches?
The doors,
Crutches.
crutches.
Yeah, and then pushing mom in a wheelchair, all that stuff. And sometimes like maybe what did he think at school, like his friends,
Yeah,
it's all these things that you imagine, how do kids take on such stuff? All of a sudden their life changed, their lifestyles changed. So I'm so glad you were actually able to put him up in to get somebody to talk to him and get some good counseling.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
so I'm so glad. Yes, I'm so glad,
Thank
Josephine.
you so much for having us. Thank you
Yes,
for having
I've been
me.
inspired. This was really nice, Josephine. You're indeed an inspiration. I've had much to learn. Oh, I'm so glad,
Thank you so
Rachel.
much. Thank you.
So now, fast forward, Josephine, what do you see yourself like? What's your journey like going forward? Are you back to your feet completely now? Are you able to actually walk without any support?
At the moment, I'm physically not able to walk. But I've done a lot of groundwork, understanding how my body works,
Yeah,
because as a complementary therapist, I've seen like the anatomy and everything, and I know what is wrong with me, and I know what is it, what when I know my good days, I know my bad days, I know how to manage all of these up, and make sure that I'm at my best. And of course, self care is very very
yeah,
important, not going
absolutely.
overboard, and knowing where is it that I'm going, and working on mindset, and also putting a smile on other people's faces, because it helps me and it helps other people as well.
Look at you. Look at you. That's selfless. That is selfless. That's like
Thank you.
inner love satisfaction.
Oh, yes, it's the contentment satisfaction. But again, when you put these jigsaw pieces together, it all needs to work hand in hand. And once you have it hand in hand and know where you're going, even though you're still in pain, even though
Yeah.
you're still having some difficulties, then you can thrive and shine through them.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Anyway, Josephine, thank you so much for inspiring people. We're here if you need us. And
Thank
if you want to
you.
talk to us again and again and again, I know so many people will probably reach out to me. Oh, Brenda, how could Josephine help with this and this? Like, this is what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
But you guys, Josephine has a page, a Facebook page. I'd also put that link in the description. You can visit her page, and she always shares like everyday motivation stories. I know everybody talks about motivational speakers and how they hate them. So it's a new thing out there on social media,
Mhm.
but sometimes you actually don't know. You wake up one day, you listen to like Josephine talking about different something that maybe happened to her yesterday or 5 years ago, and you feel just connected. So don't get disappointed, Josephine. Don't feel like you need to stop, even when like social media brings backlashes here and there about something. Just keep going. If you touch one person, that's amazing. That's
That's
a win. So just keep doing what you're doing, as long as you know it's coming from deep down your heart and
so.
it's meant to help somebody out there. Now, what is Josephine 2022, 2023 going to be like? What are you working on? What do you look forward to doing?
Wow, Josephine is like, now is the time.
Yeah,
It is the time to step into that person I thought I'll never be. That person I thought that, it is transforming, like, thriving and shining, and help many more other women, to show them how literally you can thrive and shine.
yeah,
Like, literally embrace, build more confidence, help people with their stories, because sometimes they're like, oh my God, I've got so much things going on. How do I know? Like, sometimes you don't know what the problem is. You think this is the problem, but
yeah,
then we find out the problem, and then after the problem, you're thinking, oh my wow, yeah, and then you unlock the potential. So basically, helping people with their
yeah,
confidence, self-esteem, knowing that they're enough, and doing that. Of course, I've got membership coming up. I've got
yeah,
group programs coming up and retreats coming up. So, and again, working on my health as well as helping other people, because I've come across a number of women that not even sharing but they're going through what I'm going through. So I am
Mm.
so my cup is full with that, with joy, because I have made an impact.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you have done amazingly. Again, I can't stop telling you. I always see your lives and all this stuff, and it always pop in. I'm like, Josephine, that's my girl. Keep going. So keep shining. I'm so glad. So many people end their lives. When that happened to you, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, what's Josephine gonna do? And then I saw you in a wheelchair. But some people don't get the energy or the motivation or the courage to actually go past that moment.
Yeah.
Some people end their lives there, or it goes even from there all the way down. Like they lose their self-esteem, they lose who they are, they put down, but they just disappear.
Yeah.
They just end. So, but you being able to come out of that, they say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And I
Yeah.
think you actually did not make lemonade. You made like strawberry juice out of it.
Yeah, it was when I was resuscitating the last time. I said, you know what, I nearly died, and I don't want that to happen, because the world needs me and my son needs me. And I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
All right, quickly, we're going to talk. I know so many people always ask me, Brenda, can you bring in a single mother to talk to us? How do they handle in the diaspora? So, briefly, tell us, how is single parenting like? I can't talk with them. I
mm,
have my friends. I've asked some of my friends. I have a friend who has 4 kids in the US,
mm,
and she's a nurse. And I
mm,
always look at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, God bless you. How do
mm.
you do it?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, how does she do it? Like, she works at night, she's a medical person, and her
mm,
kids are like my kids' age. And every day she's like happy. She wakes up. I'm like, how do you do it?
mm.
So tell us a little bit about single parenting, like in the UK, for example, where you are. How is it like for you?
It's really difficult.
Mhm.
It's really, it's not difficult, but it's challenging. The ups, the downs, and once you find out what it is that you're finding challenging, and you work your way out, then
Mhm.
it's fine. What most people struggle with is that I think single parents should not do, is getting into intimate relationships anytime soon. Just cut it out, because you're getting into a relationship, your mind is that you just, it's like an escape. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
not what you really really mean, but give
Mhm.
yourself time, and yeah, and do that. Find your reason why you're single. Are you happy with that? Are you hiding something? Are you guilty of something? Find all of those things out. Have a positive attitude. Take ownership of your life. If you have to take ownership of your life, and
Forgive.
forgive. Forgiving does not mean that anything, means letting go and flow. You need to know that, and be open to talk about it. You might be open with all the other single people, and be able to work through that, and open up, and don't hide things. Sometimes we feel like you're hiding something from behind, but there is something going on. And
Mhm.
if you're
Mhm.
hiding something, then it will not work. Speak to your kids, explain to them, because they understand. Bring them, explain to them. Don't lie to the kids, let them make their own decisions. Got someone on the door. Um,
Jaden is like, Mom, I can hear you.
Jaden,
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
come and open the door.
Oh, somebody's at the door. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Ah,
So basically, it's just that. And again, if you're, whatever you believe in, if you're a faithful person, ask God. You get the guidance.
yeah. Okay. Hey, Josephine, I want to let you go to attend to your guest, but thank you so much. Any last remarks to anybody out there? Any word of encouragement to anybody who might be going through something? What can you say to them today that might make a huge difference in their lives? And then we'll say bye, Josephine, and I'll talk to you very soon again.
Yeah, what I would say is what you're going through right now or what you're finding as difficult cannot define the person you are if you don't allow it. Reach out for help. Just be open. Find someone that resonates with you, someone that will help you, someone that will listen to you and not judge you. Someone you feel like you don't go with your thoughts and feelings and emotions. Follow your heart and reach out to that person. And even if it means that you just want to speak to them and be quiet or just cry over it, if your heart says that is the person you need to speak to, do that. But just don't be quiet for way so long. Don't be quiet. Don't suppress it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep telling people our hearts are this big, like, and our bodies are this big.
Mm.
So the more stuff you put on your heart, which is this big, at one point it will give up.
Yeah, yeah,
It can't take it anymore. So the
yeah.
more you open up, the more you talk to somebody, you cannot fail to find somebody. If it's
Mhm.
not somebody that you know, talk to a stranger. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
find a stranger. There's somebody out there who will listen to you, and you do not know how much impact they might have on you until you actually open up and talk. So let's not burden our hearts this much. Like it can only take so much. That's how people get heart attacks. That's how you get a mental breakdown, because anything that comes from your heart ends up in your brain, ends up in the rest of your body. And then, but that is absolutely an amazing, encouraging word to say. Talk to somebody.
Mm.
Don't stay quiet and keep things to your own for too long.
Mm.
That too long might be too late for you to actually
Exactly.
save your heart.
Because I know you're going, but it takes 5 seconds. They use a 5 second rule that once you think it, you can easily do something in 5 seconds. You can make a mind, like, you can end your own life without intending to do it. So if
Absolutely.
you feel that this is what you need right now, just pick up a call, just call someone, send a
Hmm.
message to someone,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that is what will help you. And what you tell your mind, what you think, what you tell yourself, how you look yourself in the mirror is how your life will be reflected in the actual life.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys who have tuned in today. I appreciate your love and support so much. Please look up those books on Amazon. She's Josephine Kalagira. So if you guys go on Amazon, for example, you'll be able to get your copies. Those who are not in the diaspora or in Europe, in the US, maybe soon she might avail those books in, let's say, Ugandan bookstores. She can get them there. I know so many people will be so encouraged from reading these books. Maybe she'll also work on the e-version. I saw somebody there asking. Uh,
Oh yeah, they use an e-version as
Oh,
well.
there is an e-version as well.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. I forget who was asking, but yes, there's an e-version. So please, you can find it. I know so many people now just love to just read things, ebooks, a new thing as well. But anyways, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Josephine, thank you again, and good luck on your new book.
Thank you so much for
I can't
having
wait. I can't wait to see how that turns out.
me. Thank
And
you.
it will be on your birthday. I hope you're able to launch it that time, which is a few weeks from now. So you better get that butt moving.
Oh, I know. But yeah,
Hmm.
thank you
Hmm.
so very much.
Yeah, Nippon Books in Kenya. Yes, even in Kenya. Yes, we'll get there. We'll get there. We have everyone here is like from different country. We have KBM. This is Africa. Is a US. Of course, he's an American, but he's married to a Kenyan lady, so that's why he's talking about Kenya.
Yeah.
And then we had let's see, we had Joyce from Canada. She's actually from Kenya as well, but she lives in Canada. But hey, guys, thank you again so much. I have to let Josephine go. Go. Kisses to Jaden.
Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime, Chikazi. Take care. Bye,
Okay,
guys. Don't forget to like the video and share with your friends if you feel like this will be very, very helpful for somebody out there that you know, so they can also follow Josephine and be able to purchase her books, please. That's the best way we can support Josephine's journey as well. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Spencer is in Toronto, live from Toronto. Thank you, thank you, thank you. People are just joining now. Hey, man, Cleats. We're ending the show, but thank you so much. Please go back and visit, rewatch the video and get to know so much about Josephine. And I'm sure you'll be inspired. You'll be you love it, and then you can also purchase her books as well. Hi guys. Hey Kim. Josephine, you can go. Bye. Take care.
No, I need to find.
How to leave. Oh, there you go. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us. That was another amazing show with Josephine. Don't forget to like this video. Let's grow. We are on the road to being monetized. So thank you, guys, again. Those who are just coming in right now, like the video. That's how the video will keep showing up in people's algorithm. I don't know how they call it. But take care. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays, and I appreciate your care and love. The mic sounds good. Oh, awesome. Awesome. It sounds good. Huh? Now you can see it in the video. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate. Take care. Have a great one. Bye bye.